What is up, guys? We are back for another Average Aaron's auto video, and today the vehicle we are working on is a
Ford F150.
Ford F150, yeah, 2016 Ford F150. And what are we going to be doing today in this vehicle?
Changing the oil.
Changing the oil, exactly. So to do that, we're going to need access to the engine bay, and to get there, we need to press the hood release. Where is that located?
The little tiny button.
Yep, little tiny latch you can pull right here. Boop, and it drops your catch so that it opens the hood. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around to the front of the vehicle. And I have one of those over-the-garage storage things, so you're going to want to get a pad in there so that you don't scratch your hood. You could use a sack of potatoes. I've used a small children's coat. That's fine too. Whatever prevents it from scratching your vehicle. So, two things of note. One, we have to remove our lid to where we pour the oil, which is right here, so I went ahead and took that off. And then I also have a catch can that I need to empty. That's going to be interesting because this is supposed to filter out any of the little larger bits of sediment so they don't get cycled through your motor, and it helps keep your motor cleaner and it'll help it extend the life of the motor. Then we got to go down here underneath the truck and go remove the drain bolt and the oil filter. So to do that, we're just going to go underneath here, and I've dropped some cardboard in case I spill any oil, and then I also have a drip pan underneath here. So the oil filter was located right there where you see that drippy stuff. Currently, I had a video editing problem with the first one and lost it. The filter is turned up right here into the drip pan, so the rest of the oil can drain out, and then we can throw that away. But it went right up here underneath the front of the truck right there. And then I also removed this underbody paneling piece over here, size 17 bolts and also size 1/2 inch, because a bolt was misplaced before I bought the vehicle and I had to put a new one on there. And then the drain plug itself, if I could get my other light person helper, little EO, to come around on the passenger side of the truck with the light. She's gonna shine a light and help us show us where that other drain plug is. But it's right there, that plug right there. I think it's a 15 millimeter to take it off. So to take off the underbody paneling was a 17 and 1/2 inch. And then once you get underneath here, you'll have this 15 to pull off right there and let it drip in there. Of note, make sure that your engine has been off for quite some time so the oil isn't hot and you don't burn yourself.
Which is bad.
Yeah, and then what's some other good tips about to catch the oil and stuff? Eden, you had some good tips.
We should probably make sure that the oil drip pan there, and we definitely don't like oil on our garage floor, and make sure you don't spill anything in the oil, because that would be bad, wouldn't it?
Very. So, of note, we also have to, this bolt that's on here, it has a small rubber gasket around it, and you want to make sure that stays on there and you don't lose it when you take it off. That happened on my 84 Supra, warped a rod, destroyed the engine, no good, because I lost all my oil. All right, so I've already let this drain for a little bit, and I have, let's see, is it still coming out? Yeah, I'm gonna get a rag and try to wipe some of that off. And then I've got my new filter, which I've got here, is a STP, and it's kind of upside down and whatnot right now, but I want to make sure that you have this rubber seal on here. If your filter doesn't come with one for your vehicle, make sure that you get one on here. And then another trick is I'm going to take some of the old oil and press this filter against the other one. One, to compare diameter and make sure they're the same, and two, put some oil on here because it helps make a better seal as you put it against the housing where it goes. So I'm going to take a pause and wipe off some of that oil, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like with the filter on there. All right, so I've got the old filter and the new filter. I'm just gonna twist them together like this and be good to go. Now, one of the things I noticed on my Dodge is this is just like a millimeter or something like that tinier, but that's all right. The thread pattern, the diameter and the circumference of all this looks to be the same, and they match up, so they're good to go. So I'm gonna put this filter back on. All right, this is what it looks like with the filter on. You'll also hear a little bit of dripping still. So keep the pan there, and if for whatever reason it was cross-threaded and when it was put on or something else and oil leaks out, you'll be able to catch it, which is a good idea. So of note on this, when you take this filter off, when you go to change it, make sure you have a drip pan underneath because there was a lot of oil coming out. All right, so I've got the funnel in there, and remember this takes about 6 quarts, but you can always just start with 5 and check your dipstick in here to see where you're at in terms of how much oil and stuff you have in there. So if you want to do that, you can, but I like the wide mouth funnels. That way you don't spill any oil all over your bay, and you can pick these up fairly cheap as a pack of 3. I also labeled this funnel and said oil on it, so you don't mix it. I have one for coolant, oil, and then I've got an extra one spare in case I lose, break, or eat one of these or whatever, but don't eat these.
Yeah.
All right, so next thing we want to do is to figure out how much oil we currently have in there. And Eden, what's this little yellow thing down here?
It's a dipstick.
A dipstick? What do we use the dipstick for?
We check how much oil.
Very good. It'll tell us how much oil we have. So online, I was reading these Ecoboost engines for the 3.5. For the 2.7 liter or the 3.5 liter, they both take about 6 quarts. So I went ahead and poured in 5, and I'm gonna check it just to make sure. And I'm also gonna add a little something else to it. I'm gonna add in a little bit of this Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer. I have been using this for over a decade. I ran it in my Prius for 10 years with every oil change, no issues at all with my Prius. And I've run it in almost every single car since then. And I even think I used it a little bit before then. But it's a good product, we like it, and just a little bit goes a long way. So I'm gonna add in just a little bit of this, and I'll show you guys what I mean by just a little bit. EO, could you hold that light up and shine it on here, right, this one right here? Shine it on here so they can see how much I'm putting in. All right. So this has a higher viscosity than oil. But it also helps the oil and everything else stick to all the components inside. Not sticky in that it slows it down, but sticky in that it provides constant and effective lubrication to the whole piece, so that's useful. Also, if you cut a small piece of the tip off of this, it will only come out at a small rate, so I recommend doing a little bit more than I did. It'll make it a lot easier on you. But yeah, just adding a little bit of this in here. And I know you think I've been adding a lot, but it hasn't really been that much because it's coming out slow. It's a little cold here in Alaska, but a little bit goes a long way. Nope. All right, let's check our dipstick and see where we're at. All right, so this part I'm kind of excited about because this is the catch can. This will be my first oil change with it. I'm gonna see what this has caught and what comes out of here. All right, so little EO, if you can film and take a look at this. It's kind of a murky water, brown, coffee, mocha, definitely don't drink this type deal. But this is the stuff that is settled at the bottom, and I'm gonna pour it. You still see it? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna pour this out. And see, there is a little bit of like a sludgy type stuff on the bottom, but that's good because that means that didn't go in our engine. So I'm gonna get a towel and clean this out, but you guys don't need to see me do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit pause while I clean this out. All right, so I've put the catch can back on there. I have put the cap back on top there so oil don't come shooting out the top end of the bay. I've got the appropriate amount. I've checked it on the dipstick, and then I'm going to put all the stuff back on underneath. I just haven't done that yet. Once you get this done and everything put back together, I'm actually gonna back the truck out of the garage and let it run for 10 to 15 minutes and make sure everything is tight and I don't have any leaks. Once I've run it for 10 to 15 minutes and made sure it's good to go and observe that I have no leaks, then I'll bring it back in the garage and I'll put all those pieces on underneath. Because if I did have a leak, I may not see it because the underbody paneling would catch the little drips of oil and I wouldn't notice it. Then I'd have a problem later on down the line. So that's my recommendation to you guys. Make sure your stuff is good to go there by doing it that way. Thanks again for watching the video, y'all. If you like it, please hit that like and subscribe button down below, and we'll keep the content coming your way as the projects come forth. Hope this was helpful. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. And a big shout out and a thank you to my helper, little EO. Can you say bye to the crew?
Bye.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one. See you next time.